Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Dogtooth. And this movie came out in 2009 and is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, the same director as The Lobster. And then he later directed The Favorite and Poor Things. And he also did The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is one of the ones I don't own yet, and Kinds of Kindness, which I also enjoyed, and Bugonia, which I haven't seen yet. And I'm very much looking forward to checking it out. And this one I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it captured what I liked about his movies pretty well. The tone, it was very clear to me, and it was very much in sync with what I had already experienced. It's sometimes kind of disturbing. There are points where it's kind of funny and ridiculous, and the characters talk in a manner that's very weird yet funny, and that's just what I'm used to from this director. And I liked the story overall and the angles that it goes, and just from the opening scene, you know exactly what you're in for, and it's pretty clear as to what it's going for throughout the entire movie. And I think the movie is well shot throughout, and I was with it in terms of the directions the story was going, and there's plenty of interesting moments that I really enjoyed with the characters that made it entertaining for me to watch. It was also nice and short, and there was very little music in the movie. And I think the only music in the movie was just classical music, or just music that was playing in the universe in which this movie is taking place in. And this movie has many great moments, and I really love the third act. I think that might be the most memorable part of the movie for me, is just what happens there. And there's lots of great moments with these characters, and it doesn't hold back in terms of what it wants to show you. I'll say that much, and it's very explicit, and overall it's just a really good movie that I got a decent amount out of. But I will say this much as far as criticisms go. When comparing it to Yorgos's later films, not all of them, but some of them, but most of them, at least the ones that I've seen, like The Lobster, Killing of the Sacred Deer, etc., those movies had characters that I was able to kind of get inside their heads and like really enjoy and be kind of somewhat attached to. However, what I'm missing from this movie would be that I wasn't attached to any of the characters. Not that I didn't find any of them interesting, but it was kind of going on to a certain point where I was starting to wonder, am I supposed to care about any of these characters? Because it kind of feels like you should care about them at some level at the very least, but unfortunately I just didn't really feel that way about any of them. I mostly was just like thinking about, okay, was this movie going for the certain ideas that it's trying to hit at? And all of that was working for me, but unfortunately, when it comes to an emotional response to this movie, probably would have worked better if I was attached to someone, but I just wasn't, unfortunately. But as far as movies where I'm not attached to a particular character, this might be one of the best ones, because I do feel as though this movie works even without that. There were also some weak practical effects in this movie where I just didn't believe what I was being shown, unfortunately. And I do find the first and third acts to be a bit more memorable than the second act. I was just not into it as much as those two acts, unfortunately. But nevertheless, I did thoroughly enjoy myself with this movie. But nevertheless, I did thoroughly enjoy the movie with what it was offering me. It's very well made, and it doesn't really feel as though there's anything dragging it down as far as like studio interference, which is something that I can appreciate about it, or just centering itself just so it can be appealing to a wider audience. It felt as though it was a movie that had a vision, and it was made by someone with a vision, and this is what we got, and I'm happy that we got it. So definitely check this movie out. I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I would recommend it if you're not a big fan of Yorgos Lanthimos. I wouldn't recommend starting with it if you've never seen any of his movies, but you should check it out if you like the director. So if you like the director, check it out. If you don't like the director, you're probably not going to get much out of it. And so there's where my recommendation kind of lies with this movie. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Dogtooth an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Dogtooth, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Elf. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.